Good morning, guys, and welcome to today's vlog. Please excuse the skin. We have some postpartum skin flare-ups. I think I'm back in the first trimester. But today, I figured I would dip my toe back into the vlogging space. I really don't
my toe back in the vlogging space.
I don't have too high of expectations for this
what's
vlog.
on Jack's radar?
What is it?
Look.
He colored.
Look over there.
What did he color?
Wait.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Wait.
Today's video can either be a hit or a miss, depending on how little girl's temper is throughout the day. Yes.
It was a black color, but I read it really fast, so that's why I turned it into white.
Turned into white?
But this side of Kika is very hot, Mom.
Is it, baby?
Yeah.
It is, I don't even know what time it is. Maybe almost 8:30 in the morning. Baby girl only woke up once last night to eat. I fed her around 9:30, and then she woke up at 1:30, and then she woke up at like 6:30 this morning, and I held her off till around 7. But she is down. She is down and sleeping in her swing upstairs. So I'm downstairs with the boys so that she can have some quiet time up there and not be woken up. Thankfully, she doesn't wake up too easily just yet. Thankfully, she does not wake up too easily to all of the ruckus and commotion that these two tend to make. But I do try and have them play downstairs, which they've actually been doing really well at staying downstairs in the den, even without me, which has been really nice so that I can tend to her upstairs without all of the chaos. And then we can lay her down to rest in the living room, again, without all the chaos. But for today's vlog, like I said, I don't have too high of expectations. We'll see how the day pans out and what kind of footage I can get. We're going to slowly dip my toe back into vlogging. I have not picked up the camera and physically vlogged like this since my labor and delivery vlog, since the weekend that happened. So it's been about 2 weeks since I've vlogged, and I'm really excited to get back into it. I'm still only going to be uploading one video a week until probably sometime in July, just so that I can take the pressure off of myself. I also think once the boys start camp, it'll be a lot easier to film and get content up, because between the chaos of these two, baby girl's schedule, which is obviously still all over the place, she's just over 2 weeks old, and so we don't really have too much of a set routine with her. My days are pretty unpredictable, but I think once they get into camp and baby girl gets a little bit older and I can start really paying attention to her wake windows and get her a little bit more routine, filming content will be a lot easier for you guys. But for today, I feel like I keep trailing off with my thoughts. The boys actually have their cousin's birthday party today around 10:15 that Harris is going to take them to. And while they're out of the house at that birthday party, I have a few things that I want to get done. I have their camp orientation this afternoon, so I need to prep some clothes to bring for them for camp. And then we got a bunch of clothes. What?
Oh, I gotta wear these clothes.
No, you gotta put on an outfit to go to cousin Leo's birthday party.
No, these kind of clothes.
We did get a bunch of clothes in hand-me-down for baby girl. I brought in one bag that I think is everything 0 to 6 months that I want to go through and organize and take out whatever I can put in her drawers as of right now. But I still have 2 more bags of clothes. I think 2 or 3 more bags of clothes in my car that go all the way up to, I think, like 24 months. So I want to start going through that stuff and organizing it and just finding a space for it in her room. So those are 2 things I want to try and get done while the boys are out at their birthday party. And then, like I said, later on I do have their camp orientation, and they're going to go out to eat for their cousin's birthday party. Okay, I'm gonna go now and drink my coffee and try and entertain these kids while baby girl naps. Okay, baby girl is down. Unfortunately, we had 2 big spit up situations. I used my little green machine to try and get the spit up off of the couch. I need to clean her bottle, which I will talk a little bit about how feeding baby girl has been going and our little plan moving forward here in a second. And I also got a Target package, so we're gonna open this up and chat. Okay, lighting's not the best, but like I said, low expectations for today's vlog is the mode that I'm in, so that I get something for you guys. I don't want to be overly critical of myself vlogging right now, so don't mind the lax nature and mess of a vlog if that's what it winds up being. But I want to open up this box with you guys. I did place an order for a few things from Target, and while I open it up, I figured I would chat with you guys loosely about our feeding plan for baby girl. I do plan on doing a postpartum update video for you guys, and I feel like really in that video I'll go more into detail about what happened over the last a little bit over 2 weeks, and why we are feeding baby girl the way that we are. I also want to answer some questions from you guys, so I feel like loosely touching on this topic right now. You guys can ask questions down below, and then maybe in like a week or two I'll get around to filming that postpartum update and Q&A video for you guys. But basically, baby girl is no longer breastfed. I really wanted to breastfeed her for at least 6 months. Obviously, we literally made it not even 2 weeks. And I feel like this decision was pretty hard for me to make. I feel like when I breastfed the boys back in 2020, I had low expectations for that. Like, I knew going into that was going to be really difficult. And if I only breastfed them for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever it would have been, I would have been so proud of myself for breastfeeding twins. This time around, I just kind of assumed that breastfeeding baby girl was going to be a lot easier because she was one baby. And so in my mind, I was like, yeah, 6 months, it's going to be so easy to do. However, very early on, she had some latch issues. I really got like insane cracked nipples, and they were so painful. I was able to semi-correct her latch within a few days, but the pain that I had felt really caused me to have anxiety about latching her to my breast, and it became something that I honestly dreaded, which I don't think any mother should ever dread feeding their child. I would literally sit there and anticipate latching her, and I would like almost latch her and then pull her mouth away and then almost latch her. Like, it became such a process. I also felt like I was really chained to the couch. The boys were born 1 month premature. They were born at 36 weeks, so their bellies were really small from the jump, and they really didn't need a lot of milk for the first few weeks of their lives. With baby girl being 8 pounds and 11 ounces, she was a big baby, and so she was hungry. She got hungry really fast, and I felt like beyond her cluster feeding pattern, she was just never satisfied or satiated. And I did wind up having to top her off with formula a few times in those early days because she was losing a lot of weight. When we went to her 48-hour checkup after leaving the hospital, she was down to almost in the 7-pound range, and she was born at 8 pounds and 11 ounces. So she had lost, they said, like 7% of her body weight, which is kind of high. They would like to see normally about like 5% babies lose. They say once you get up to the 7, 8, 9, 10% range that it could be dangerous. And so I knew she had lost some weight when we left the hospital, but when we went to her 48-hour appointment and I found out that she lost even more weight, I was a little nervous. I started to get in my head, and I started to have a lot of anxiety beyond her latch of my breastfeeding journey, which is something that happened with the boys. Once they started getting a little bit bigger, I had a lot of anxiety about, like, am I feeding them enough? Are they getting enough? Are they going to grow enough? And I started having those thoughts again with baby girl. I'm basically going into full detail right now about this topic, but long story short, she's no longer being latched to the breast. This last weekend, I made that decision. I did transition her to a combo feeding pattern because obviously I still had milk from when I breastfed her the first few weeks of her life. So I would use my Haka and express out as much milk as I could and then mix that with her bottles, which thankfully this is the bottle that came with my electric pump and my manual pump. It's an even flow. I think it's called the Balance Plus bottle. I ordered another set of them. They're like the bigger 9-ounce bottles, I think. I have a bunch of these small 5-ounce ones, but it only came with one nipple, which was super annoying. I have to literally wash the nipple in between every single feeding so that she has a bottle to eat from. But thankfully she really liked these and she really liked the nipple, and I never had any trouble getting her to latch to this and drink from it, whether it was extra breast milk or formula or breast milk and formula bottle. We did that pattern of combo feeding over the last weekend, but your milk kind of dries up pretty quickly, and I no longer feel or get engorged, and it's literally been 3 days since I latched her to the breast. So even with my Haka, I barely get anything out. I was getting about 1 ounce out each time, so she would take 2 ounces of formula and 1 ounce of breast milk in a bottle. And she transitioned really well to that, but because I'm barely getting anything out, I'm just freezing in syringes whatever little bit I can get out, so when she gets sick for the first time, I have some breast milk on backup, and thankfully I have some colostrum on backup for when she gets sick for the first time, because that was like my main thing having toddlers, was her getting sick a lot. And so I wanted to breastfeed her so that she would get antibodies and not get sick a lot. So thankfully I've been able to freeze a little bit for the first time, or the first few times she gets sick. But long story short, she is kind of still combo fed, almost now transitioned to exclusively formula fed. And if you guys are interested, the formula that I use is by ByHeart. I do work with them. I actually have a TikTok going up with them very shortly. So if you see me post a lot of content about ByHeart, it's because I am a ByHeart partner and I work with them. And thankfully, again, this is a formula that she took really well to, and her belly seems super comfortable. She only really spits up if I don't get a good burp out of her and I lay her down, which was the case. I did get a good burp out of her, but it's super gentle on her belly and she's really been enjoying this. So you'll see me talk a lot about this across my social media, because thankfully I'm a partner with them, and I'm really grateful for that, because formula is expensive, and with working with them, it takes a little bit of that burden off of Harris and I. But long story short, Babygirl is no longer being exclusively breastfed. She's almost fully transitioned to formula, and I had to place an order on Target to get her some more bottles. Like I said, these are the Even Flow Balance Plus standard bottles. I think this is a 3-pack. I hope it's a 3-pack. I think it said it was a 3-pack online. I ordered these just to have extra bottles, bigger bottles, and because I needed more nipples, and you can't get the slow flow nipple alone. Like, you have to buy a set of bottles to get the slow flow nipple. So I ordered these on Slow. I ordered these on Target, so now I have a bunch of the big ones and a bunch of the little ones to use for Babygirl. I'm actually going to sterilize all of these right now. And then I needed jumbo Ziploc bags so I can label and bring extra clothes for the boys to their camp orientation later. And then they also needed sunscreen for camp. So I got a 2-pack of the Target Kids Stick Sunscreen and a 2-pack of the Target Spray Sunscreen, because every day the boys need extra sunscreen in their camp bags. So that's my little Target order. That's my little spiel about the whole breastfeeding thing. It was a really hard decision to make in the moment, and I was very sad about it. I literally could not talk about it, which I'm getting teary right now, but I couldn't talk about it for the first few days because I felt like I was letting myself down, and I felt like I was letting Babygirl down, but she's thriving. We went to the doctors yesterday, and she's actually almost up to her birth weight now, and we only really started incorporating formula over the last few days, and so it makes me feel good knowing that she's thriving and growing. And I think it was just the best decision for us. I felt like I was chained to the couch and I couldn't attend to the boys on top of attending to Babygirl. And once my mom left, like, that was really hard. I felt so bad. I would sit on the couch for like 3 hours at a time trying to get her satisfied and fed, and then the boys, I felt like I was neglecting them. So I feel like this was the best decision for our family and for my mental health and sanity, and again for Babygirl because she's thriving. So I'm gonna go and sanitize those bottles, and then I'll start doing some of the work that I want to do in terms of like getting the boys' stuff ready for camp. And then we'll sit and I'll start going through that first bag of hand-me-down clothes. I want to get that organized by month and pick out whatever I can get in her drawers now for her to start wearing. Okay, I just went ahead and pulled out the clothes that I'm going to pack away for the boys to bring to their orientation later. And I wanted to bring up the name stamp again. Every year before like camp or the school year, I like to bring this to your guys' attention again, because it seriously is like one of the best little gadgets that I've ever gotten. It is exactly what it says. It's a name stamp, and I've actually had these ones for 2 years now. I got them originally back before the boys went to camp when they were like 2.5, and the ink in the stamp is still going strong. I've used it every single year for camp and for school to label all of the boys' clothes. It's just so much easier than using a Sharpie marker. And I've even labeled bathing suits, and I don't find that the chlorine takes the ink out of the clothing. And even washing, I think the website says something like 100 washes the ink should last. I've never had an issue with them fading or wearing off, and so I wanted to bring them to your attention again. I will have a link down below for you guys, and I believe a coupon code that is still always active for them. Like I said, 2 years I've had these and they're still going strong, but I believe you can get ink refills to be able to just like refill and always have this. And like I said, I always like to bring it to your guys' attention around like this time before camp and before school. So if you're in the market for anything like this, to label your kids' clothes, it's just so much quicker and more easy to just quickly slap a stamp on everything than to use a Sharpie marker and have to physically write everything out. This is one of like the best little gadgets that I've ever gotten, and I've always found it to come in handy around this time of year, labeling clothes for camp. And then again, if I have to send clothes for the boys for school this upcoming school year, I'll whip these out again and label everything for them for that. So links and codes will be down below if you guys are interested in something like this or are in the market for something like this. I need to just go ahead and fold all this now and stick this stuff in the Ziplocs. And then baby girl is still resting, and while she's down, I'm going to grab that first big bag of clothes. I think it's everything like 0 to 6 months, and start organizing that stuff in the living room while she rests. This is what we're starting with. A lot of this, most of this, I think is just like pajamas, sleep sacks, and like that kind of stuff. I don't remember. I already went through a lot of it. Like there was 10 times more than the 4 bags that I wound up taking. I did go through a lot of it and pick out like the stuff that I felt fit my style for baby girl, but now I want to go ahead and organize it by size. So like I said, this bag I think is everything 0 to 6 months, and I think a lot of it is pajamas. And then we have a little bag of shoes. These I'm not going to organize. I just want to put this in her room, but this is what we are starting with. This is everything laid out. So we have 2 newborn outfits, and these are the sleep sacks, or like the swaddle me Velcro swaddles that I like to use right now, bibs, and a hat. So this stuff can go in the dresser right now. This stuff can go in the dresser right now. These are 3-month and 3 to 6 month, which we have in the dresser. These are 6 month. We don't have just 6 month in the dresser, I don't think. So from here over, all this stuff I'm just going to put back in the bag and put in her closet, but like have it neatly organized. We have 6 month, 6 to 12, 6 to 12, 9 month, and then those are actually 18 month. These are B-step pajamas, which I loved and used for the boys. I don't think they're still in B-step. I think like last year they were still in B-step. B-step jammies are great. So I didn't even know that we had those in this bag, but those go all the way up to 18 months. And then here are some sleep sacks that start at a size small all the way up to a medium. The boys lived in sleep sacks, so I was very glad to have all of these. I already have a bunch upstairs, but you can never have enough. And especially to have second sets of things to bring to my mom's house and leave there. These ones are like thin muslin ones. I had no idea they made those, so I'm definitely going to bring these down to Florida when we go next year. And then this stuff is stuff that needs to be hung up. This little like fuzzy jacket, this little painter suit, and then 2 tie-dye sweatshirts for baby girl. Those need to be hung up. So I'm going to bring all this upstairs and get this stuff put away, make myself some lunch, and then baby girl should be wanting to eat again soon. This lighting right here has me so washed out and pale. I need to start getting out and getting some sun, but it is now after 7 o'clock. I just fed baby girl and she is down and resting. I'm actually waiting for Harris to get home with the boys since they went out to dinner for their cousin's birthday, and I wound up taking a baby girl over to the boys' camp orientation, which was super quick and easy. I also wound up taking all 3 of the kids by myself today to a Quest lab so that the boys could get their blood drawn for their surgery, and I was going to vlog it, but when I tell you it was pretty chaotic. It went smooth all in all, like getting them all out the door, getting her there. She slept the entire time there. I didn't have to worry about her. Of course, the boys cried and screamed when they had to actually get their blood drawn, but all in all, getting all of them out of the house really wasn't too bad. I was going to vlog it, never wound up doing that, but we did that. I went to the boys' camp orientation. Like I said, Harris wound up taking the boys out to the birthday dinner, and I'm waiting for them to get home and bring me some food home because I am starving. But I wanted to go ahead and close out today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed whatever footage I was able to get today. Like I said, I'm slowly dipping my toe back into the vlogging space, and I definitely think once the boys go to camp and I have just like more quiet hours in the home, and just like more free time to myself, I'll definitely be able to get back on a schedule. I think once they do go to camp, which is going to be the 2nd week in July, I'll go back to hopefully uploading 2 videos a week. I might readjust my upload schedule, we'll have to see. But for now, 1 video a week, and then hopefully in the next few weeks I'll get back to 2 videos a week for you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and with that being said, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.